am on my table, and I've got all 3 panels here, and I am reworking these as part of a series to go with these very abstract, graphic, clean designs I did with jelly plates. And I do have a video with some of this happening, and I want this series with the flowers to go with the more graphic jelly plate abstracts. Got it? Okay, so this was what was already going on with this one. It was purple flowers. I went in on each of these panels, and I'll show them as I go along. And I did the same Venetian plaster in the same colors that I used for the more graphic jelly plate abstracts. And now I want to add some papers in to kind of pull it together. Now I love the red and the purple together. I want to cover up the busyness of the vase, and I could do it with this piece of paper, which is a jelly print I did, or a mono print that I did on a cardstock heavy paper. And I kind of like that as the vase. And all 3 of these are going to be very much alike. I'm using the same size vase on all of them. I want them to be kind of one-dimensional. I'm happy with this looking like it's a piece of paper glued on to the board, which is fine with me. And I really like that one. I also kind of like this as a vase. Now, do I go with all my vases the same size, or do I take this and just cover that up? That looks kind of cool. Decisions. This is what I originally planned, and let me show you why I'm liking that size. I really am fine with all 3 of these pieces looking the same. This is one of the other ones, and you can see I'm using that same vase, and I'm using this to pull in the blue flowers that are here, but even this one is questionable because I kind of like that vase as well. I really like that one. And the only reason I'm kind of going against it is I have one piece that the vase is this color. And I want them all to be different, but the same. If I use this for the piece over here, so I've got green and the peachy color, I don't really want to have another green. So I could put that and have a green, a red, and a peachy. Or I could, on the panel on my left, have this blue. This was my original thought, is to have them more solid and have the 3 vases kind of the same. So now I'm going to do a little voiceover and talk a little bit more about the pieces in this project that I'm working on, because it's kind of threefold. Number 1, it's painting over pieces that I had already done a while back. This was a set of 4, and one of the pieces sold, and I was left with the other 3, and they've kind of been sitting around the studio. I hate to let a good cradle board go. These are 24 by 24. So I decided to alter them and make them part of the series of graphic abstracts that I just completed. And I'll link that in the end of this video so you can see those pieces coming together. So the first thing was painting over work that I had already done. The second thing is creating work in a series. I love working in a series. I figure if I have paint and papers out, why not do more than one? And it just is a natural to have them all go together. And the main thing is decision making. And you can see here with all the papers that I'm moving around and seeing what fits where and what works and what doesn't. And especially when you see where they ended up at the end of this video, decision making plays such a huge part in art making. And this is my process. So I hope that you take the time in your decision making. Putting the art together is really easy. For me, once I get the decisions made on what I'm doing and where I'm going, and leaving a little bit of room to alter even that along the way. Okay, so here I am on my third and final piece of these three that are going with another series. It's all part of the same series. And just so you have an idea what I'm doing, this is, and I hope this is picking up on my iPad because I don't have this piece with me. It's in my other studio. But each piece is going to go with one of the other abstracts that I have going on. Hope I'm not getting a reflection in here. But this piece is going to go with this abstract. So I really wanted the blue to play off the flowers, but I didn't want too much blue, although that does look pretty nice. I wanted to add in a little bit of the green, more of the green. So I'm going to pair these two together. I have my cutout circle here. I have my piece of black and white paper I'm putting here because I don't really like what's going on there. I want to cover it up, and that works in pretty well with that. I could have, or I liked this piece of pink paper here, but now that I take it away, this is much cleaner, much more graphic, so I'm going to leave that completely off. And then I just have a couple more pieces just to add some detail to this one to get it to look a little bit closer to this with the addition of flowers and pink. So let me put that one together, and then I'll show you each of the pieces where they started and where they ended up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, speed it up just a little bit because you can understand what I'm doing. I'm using a gloss super heavy gel to hold all my papers down because with the plaster, the Venetian plaster that I have, it's pretty porous, so I want to make sure that everything stays down. So I'm using that. Of course, I've got my little bowl scraper to make sure I'm getting all my edges smoothed out. And with that being said, let me get this started. So in the end, I really encourage you to work in a series. Don't be afraid to paint over previous work, and get all your decision making done up front, whether it be mixing colors on a palette or pulling papers together that you want to use. It makes it so much more fun when you get that out of your way, and then you can just play. I really encourage that. And also, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Just take a moment and hit that little button. And I always enjoy a thumbs up, and any questions or comments you may have, leave them below. I really look forward to answering your questions, and I love seeing your comments. So thank you so much for being here and watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.